Never have I ever thought that I would live through a pandemic. While we continued with our daily routines, the virus was quickly spreading, mutating into something specialists can hardly control. Now we're just desperate for a cure. I don't even remember the last time I gave my grandmother a kiss, or the last time I hugged my mom. Human touch. It's something we crave, but avoiding this thing we crave, it could save lives. The word privilege can mean many things. Having food on your plate 3 times a day, having a home to begin with, a shelter from this madness, being with your family. Some people don't have that chance. Who knew that it would prevent us from leaving our homes and hinder us from trying to make a living? That it would lead to scarce resources? Who knew that trying to get by day would become 1,000 times harder? That the poorest of the poor could become even poorer? Who knew that it would cripple first world countries, that humanity would fall to its knees? It's bringing out the worst in others. Greed and cruelty are taking over those who are taking advantage of the weak, just because they feel like they're in a position to do so. You can't exactly say that it's survival of the fittest, because even the strongest man could become a crumbling statistic before this battle even ends. I try to think about the day it finally ends. It feels like a dream. I stopped counting down the days until what? People don't get the chance to have a proper burial for their loved ones. People cry for justice that they'll never get. Not in this time. People are hanging by a thread, but for how long? It feels like death is in the air. As I sit here, there are people trying to catch their last few breaths. There are people dying before they even get the chance to take one last glimpse of their family. No farewell embrace. The hardest goodbyes are the ones we never get to say. I pray that when this is all over, those who are blessed with the chance to survive this crisis, let's make the most out of our borrowed lives. The least we can do is not to make life harder for anybody else. At a time when hundreds of people across the globe are dying in just a span of seconds, it's hard to find a silver lining. But during this seemingly hopeless time, we find it anyway. We find it in the fact that nature is slowly healing itself. We find it in the smiles, the carriers of hope, amidst the overflowing tears. We find it in the survivors and our frontliners. We find it in acknowledging that our heroes walk among us. People learn not to take things for granted. People from different classes, including those who don't even have enough in their pockets, coming together for one cause, to help in whatever way they can. We find it in our unshakable faith. We find it in love, that we are truly connected despite the absence of physical touch. Last but definitely not the least, we find it from above, because this fight isn't over yet. And no matter how much pain we're in, still, the only way we look, the only way we go, is forward.